From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Our top story, Army officials say a Fort Wainwright soldier has been charged with raping a child on post.
Specialist Nicholas Markham faces 2 charges, including rape of a child between the ages of 12 to 16 by force and providing alcohol to a minor. Now, little detail was available regarding the circumstances surrounding the charges. Army spokesman John Pinnell said in an email the alleged rape occurred in May of 2014 on Fort Wainwright. Markham is not in pretrial confinement. A court-martial is set to begin July 8th on post.
Once allegations are brought to the commander's attention, that's when the investigation phase begins. Pretrial confinement is not a default instance. Well, I'm not going to speak specifically to this one, but the command obviously decided that those criteria had not all been met in this case, and that they could maintain positive control or positive accountability of the soldier.
State lawmakers made a lackluster return to session today. 6 of the House's 40 members and 3 of the Senate's 20 members were in Juneau for brief floor sessions to satisfy meeting requirements. Majority Leader John Coghill of North Pole gavelled the Senate session. With nothing to vote on, attendance wasn't mandatory. The Senate adjourned until Friday, the House until Saturday. The legislature finished their annual session 2 weeks ago, but that meant passing a partially funded state budget and putting off a decision on whether to expand Medicaid, a priority of Governor Bill Walker. Walker called a special session, but majority members in both chambers voted to recess until today. At a press conference this afternoon in Anchorage, Walker urged the legislature to come together on a budget number and allow his administration to find a solution to the state's revenue problem.
What's going to fix the problem is we spend this summer working on the revenue side. What are we going to do to add revenues to our budget to be able to balance it out so we don't continue to draw down? We have that scheduled for Fairbanks, University of Alaska Fairbanks in early June. That's what we need to be working on, is fixing the solution, not focused on who has the most correct number for the budget.
The State House Finance Committee held a hearing yesterday on House Bill 148, the Medicaid expansion bill. The measure was introduced by Governor Walker. One of the main topics of discussion concerned the idea of implementing a health care provider tax. The proposal seeks to accept federal funding to expand Medicaid eligibility for people in Alaska who are ineligible for Medicaid or subsidized insurance on the private market. It was pointed out that not all health care providers would be affected if the tax was approved.
The most popular provider tax, or most common provider tax, is on hospitals as a facility, is on nursing homes as facilities. I can say that based on what we've seen on preliminary research, we do not anticipate putting forward a proposal that would tax individual providers like doctors. The most likely outcome would be a hospital facility or a nursing home facility. So small providers, in all likelihood, will not be included in the provider tax proposal.
Another school was placed into lockdown this afternoon in North Pole, but this time it was not related to the recent threatening phone calls made to numerous interior Alaskan schools. North Pole High School was locked down after a report of people target shooting too closely to the school. North Pole Middle School was also put in a lesser secure the building status because of their proximity. Police say the individuals were not shooting at the school, but due to the report, the building was placed into lockdown as a precaution. Recent threatening phone calls made to 6 area schools have had authorities on alert to threats, and school officials say they are continuing to investigate those calls with help from the FBI.
Today at approximately 1:37 p.m., North Pole High School went into a lockdown status because of reports of audible gunfire from behind the school near the dike. Following their investigation at around 1:55 p.m., approximately 2 p.m., the lockdown status was lifted.
We'll have more information tomorrow on the recent lockdowns at interior schools, including new communication methods the school district is enacting to alert parents efficiently.
All right, when we come back, what happens if you're a comedian and the power goes off?
I don't know. That's what happened Saturday night, and we'll tell you what happened about that.
Also, in case you hadn't noticed, Fairbanks went through their annual green up this weekend. Now comes the pollen and allergies.
Those stories and more when we return. Welcome back. Shell Oil Company received approval to do offshore Alaska exploration near the Chukchi Sea, which could be a resource of up to 30 billion barrels of oil. The United States Department of the Interior conditionally approved a revised exploration plan produced by Shell. For years, the oil company has sought permission from the U.S. government to drill in restricted federal areas like the Chukchi Sea. Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan says Shell still has work to do before any drilling occurs in the Arctic this summer. The Alaska Oil and Gas Association says Shell continues to prove to regulators that a balance between development and protection can be achieved. Former Alaska Democratic Senator Mark Begich adds that developing the Chukchi is major for the creation of jobs in the state, despite opposition from environmentalists worried about the effects of oil drilling in the Arctic Ocean.
And I think their concerns are exaggerated and, in some cases beyond reality. It's just, there's been a lot of work. I know in my 6 years in the Senate, we made sure they would have high standards of development, but also do it in a way that's economical. To move that oil out of the Chukchi Sea to the Trans-Alaska Pipeline will require a significant amount of new pipe to be built, maybe up to 500, 600 miles of pipe, which means Alaskans will be working to build that.
The Blue Loons Comedy Showcase had a bit of improvisation from the local power company on Saturday night. During their headliner performance from actor Jamie Kennedy, the power went out multiple times. In true Alaskan fashion, the crowd pulled out cell phones to light up the stage and coaxed Kennedy to finish the set without a microphone. Kennedy praised the crowd for their ingenuity and says that this was one of his favorite stand-up performances.
To your people, if that's a compliment, you use your resources and you put the phones up, and then I was like, okay, they want a show, I'll do a show, and then I didn't have to like go at them. It was more like, hey, how are you? And they could hear me, and I thought it was a joke. And then when this crazy thing happened, someone held up their phone. Right. And then another person, and then another person, and the next thing you know, we probably had 80 phones that lit up the room, and I was like, what? And people just were like, basically wanted to have a show.
We had about a one-day green up in Fairbanks this year, and with it comes allergy season. Monty Bowen has more in this week's health report.
Tree and grass pollen seasons are overlapping due to the unusual winter. That means double trouble for allergy sufferers of all ages. Dr. Elaine Schulte is a pediatrician and says she's already seeing the effects.
It's more severe than it's typically been. We're seeing kids coming in with all kinds of complaints. Kids who've never had allergies before are coming in saying their eyes are itchy, their nose is runny, they have a little bit of a sinusy headache.
Pollen is carried by the wind and gets blown into the eyes and nose. Outdoor pollens cause similar symptoms in both kids and adults. Pediatric allergist Dr. Brian Schroer says tree and grass pollen are often to blame.
When tree pollen coincides with the grass pollen, we get a lot more nose and eye symptoms.
Pollen allergies are common, and you may start to notice your kids rubbing their eyes or sneezing. Over-the-counter antihistamines, nose sprays, or eye drops, preferably without red eye reducers, can help relieve the allergy symptoms in kids. If you notice your child rubbing itchy eyes, the doctor says rinsing them out with water can bring relief. He also suggests another trick you can try to prevent itchy eyes.
Have the kids wear sunglasses, and it may prevent the pollen from being blown into their eyes and leading to redness and itching and swelling of the eyes.
He recommends creating an allergy-free zone in your child's room so they can sleep comfortably at night. That includes keeping bedroom windows shut. You can also add a HEPA filter to help filter out mold, spores, and pollen from the air. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building, and by Interior Women's Health, located on 1626 30th Avenue.
I'm pretty lucky. I don't normally get allergies.
I don't either. Not really.
Pretty lucky. No Zyrtec for me.
All right, Joe Cook is up next with sports, and there's a lot happening in North Pole. 5 players are moving on to college, and there's a new coach at the school as well.
All that and more, including high school spring sports highlights after the break with Joe.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here with your local Tuesday Sportscast. 5 players from North Pole's football team made their college choices. Let's see where these Patriots are going next.
On Monday at North Pole High School, 5 players chose football programs at the next level. 4 signed their national letters of intent. Gunnar Pliska and Trent Noyokpuk will be going to Valley City University, a NAIA program in North Dakota. Noyokpuk had to work on Monday, but Gunnar was excited for both of them.
It's exciting, but I know I'm going to have to work hard. I'm not just going to be able to show up and take the spot, so I'd have to because there's still kids that are older than me, kids that are bigger than me, and I'm going to show that I can work harder than them if I want the spot.
Running back and fullback Simi Skip signed to Missouri Baptist University, a rebuilding NAIA program in St. Louis.
I was just on the phone a whole lot of connections through NCSA. They routed me through to Missouri Baptist, and the coaches seemed to like me, and I liked their facilities and stuff.
All-state and all-conference running back DeAndre Campbell will play at Division III Greenville College in Illinois. They were third in the nation in a rushing offense last season.
Playing with this high school, I've learned hard work is a good value, and I know they probably already have hard work as one of their #1 values, but I'm just going to bring my energy and hopefully see how far I can go and how far I can get my teammates to go.
All-state and all-conference tight end and wide receiver Shane Hurst will play for Division II Azusa Pacific in California in the GNAC Conference. They won the regular season title last year.
I'm very excited. Their offense runs a very similar spread offense to what we run here. And so I'll be able to play like that same tight end flex position that I played here. And so a big threat in the run blocking game.
And staying with the North Pole Patriots, right after those kids signed their national letters of intent on Monday, a coach signed a contract. Steve Peterson has been named head coach of the North Pole boys basketball team. At the end of this past season, Steve Bolden resigned after 3 seasons as a head coach. He also coached the JV team for a year. Pearson is a North Pole grad and served as an assistant and JV coach last season. His son plays for the team, Jared. He has 10 years of coaching experience at various levels. The Patriots finished 3rd in the MAC for the last few years. Their last state tournament appearance was back in 2011, where they finished in 5th place. Monday night at the FYSA Turf Fields, the Lathrop and North Pole girls played in their 3rd and final conference matchup. The first 2 meetings resulted in ties, both 2-2 scores. North Pole's Kylie Erickson scored twice for the Patriots in the first half to give them a 2-0 lead, and Brooke Fisher was working on the shutout in the second half, but Lathrop made a run late. Savannah Garrett, the senior, prevented the shutout with a goal at the 70-minute mark for Lathrop. Then Zadie Bell Sanchez, she stays with the play on the free ball and scores at the 77-minute mark to tie the game at 2-2. So once again, Lathrop and North Pole end in a 2-2 tie. Both teams have 2 more games against first place West Valley as well.
Honestly, I just saw that she was talking to her keeper and it was kind of miscommunication. I read that and I went for it. I saw the keep come out and we've actually practiced a drill like that. So I knew, I was like, oh, I practiced this. So I just took the shot.
I think they just bring out the best of us and, we just have to continue to work as a team and, eventually we'll come out on top with that.
The top-seeded West Valley boys and girls shut out their opponents on Monday night, sweeping the Hutchinson Hawks. Audie Wade started the scoring for the West Valley girls, finishing off a through pass from Sarah Walling Ball. Freshman Grace Marks would score, as did defender Livy Shellikins, whose kicks one in from 30 yards out, goes right over the goalie's hands for a score. West Valley led 3-0 at the half, and they would go on to win this one 9-0. Kiara Simpson, the freshman, had a hat trick for the Pack in the win. The boys, they rolled to a 4-0 first half lead. Braden DeWeese scored twice in the first half and finished with 4 goals. Another West Valley defender got in on the scoring column as well. Olaf Shikionta finishes in front of the net. The Wolfpack win this one 10-0 over Hutchinson. Lastly, the Lathrop Malamutes boys team came away with a 3-0 shutout. The North Pole Patriots, Pedro Messias, led the Malamutes with 2 goals in the win. Jake Carlson earned the shutout for the Mutes. In high school softball, the Hutchinson Hawks increased their winning streak last night on the road. Down in Delta Junction, the Hawks swept the Huskies in a doubleheader, winning 16-1 in Game 1 and 14-4 in Game 2. In Game 1, Kimmy Duffield threw a 1-hitter with 7 strikeouts and helped herself with a 2-run homer. Riley Bodyfelt went 3 for 3 with 2 ribbies and 2 runs scored in Game 2. The Hawks are now 5-3 overall and 3-0 in the MAC. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into our Tuesday night edition of the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about the weather. And today we had lots of cumulus clouds around and maybe some light showers trying to move into the area, but it looks like for the most part they're drying out before they hit the ground. So we have a lot of virga hanging around there. We'll tell you more about what lies ahead for this weekend. You're going to love it too, believe me. Our photograph night, this is from Russell Snyder. He was down at the Birch Lake area, and you can see it's starting to thaw out pretty good. There's still some ice hanging around there. But for the most part, it's all the ice is moving out of the picture, and it should be great for fishing. I'm sure it is right now. Again, as always, if you have a photograph that you want to share, by all means, send it to photos@ktvf11.com. Your numbers look like this. Today's high 64, right now is 63. The low last night 38. Record high, another warm day, 81 degrees in 1942, 20 degrees for the record low in 1917. And the sunrise and sunset, 18 hours and 20 minutes of beautiful sunshine. That's a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. What's going on our satellite and radar? Not a whole lot, really. Just a few scattered showers around the Prince William Sound area, a few moving across the interior, and over to the southwest, we're looking at a little more cloud cover coming in. As far as the interior is concerned, our latest satellite and radar zooming in on the area shows some showers around the area, but like I said, most of it is not touching the ground. It's just evaporating before it has a chance to reach the ground. As far as what's going on in the rest of the state today, as you can see here, a few showers around the Ketchikan area, but other than that, it looks like lots of sunshine. Partly cloudy skies at Anchorage, some showers at Kodiak, also showers along the Aleutian chain at Cold Bay, and up and down the west coast, things are looking pretty good. Some very widely scattered showers over the southwest of the interior and across the north slope. Not too bad at Barrow, 28 degrees. Nice day in Fort Yukon, 61. Lower 48 weather, things have changed dramatically, not nearly as volatile as it has been for the last 2 weeks or so. Still some showers around the northwest sections of the country. Lots of sunshine returning to Southern California, 91 degrees at Phoenix. A few light rain showers moving across the Texas area, but no severe activity being reported anywhere. There are some thunderstorms once in a while rumbling over the deep south, but nothing really heavy, and that's good news. Lots of nice weather over the northeast. Now, as far as the satellite and radar is concerned, you can see those afternoon showers developing, but no oranges or reds or even some yellows, so that means it's nothing really heavy, just some widely scattered light shower activity. Another area of low pressure moving across the Pacific Northwest, bringing the showers there. What's it all mean as far as the lower 48 and the southern sections of California? It means maybe some relief in the form of showers and thunderstorms for the next couple of days as this area of low pressure really develops strong, and the overall outlook for the jet stream is calling for, once again, the deep trough down over the Southern California area, then rising back up rapidly with a big area of high pressure and some showers across the Great Lakes. All right, well, back to Alaska for tomorrow in the northern sections. Mostly cloudy skies at Barrow, partly cloudy skies in Nome, and lots of sunshine for Fort Yukon with a high tomorrow of 68 degrees. How about that? Now, what's going on as far as the interior? Well, it's not too bad. Sunny to mostly sunny skies for Fairbanks, Healy, Tok, and Delta Junction, with Fairbanks almost at 70 degrees tomorrow. Over southeast Alaska, also dry there too. Mostly sunny skies for Juneau, and it's partly cloudy skies for Ketchikan. Temperatures once again in the mid to upper 60s. Over the southwest part of the state, we're looking at rain showers at Cold Bay, rain expected for Bethel and at Kodiak. While in the Anchorage Bowl, nice weather once again. Partly cloudy at Homer, mostly sunny skies for Valdez and Anchorage. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. And this week, as we finish off our kids' weather for the year, we're visiting with the kids from Ladd Elementary School. And here's a young lady with actually a young man and a lady with a picture to share with you tonight.
Hello, I'm Roy, and my friend Ashley drew this picture about a thunderstorm that happened.
This thunderstorm took place in Hawaii, and I drew this because in North Pole we had a really bad thunderstorm, and my sister and her friends went down to the lake to swim during the thunderstorm.
Thank you guys for that picture and for working with each other. That was kind of cool. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. Tomorrow night, a young lady will be here with an interesting weather question. All right, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. Cloudy skies, a few isolated rain showers in the area, 40 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, mostly sunny and considerably warmer than today. Actually, we're going to pump that up to about 68 degrees for the high. And as far as the extended forecast, look at the 70s all the way across the board. In low 70s, Stephanie is really happy about that. And we're looking at no precipitation in the forecast. Daytime highs in the 70s, overnight lows in the low to mid 40s. Looking beautiful, really good. Good forecast, I like that. And next week, you guys, it could be looking at near 78 degrees by the weekend.
That is so amazing. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, thank you, Mike. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We're glad you could join us, but before we leave you tonight,
KTVF and Bailey's Furniture are teaming up for a Spring Dream giveaway where you can win a furniture package from Bailey's valued at $2,500.
That's nice. This week's mystery word is memory. Visit Bailey's Furniture for more information and your chance to win.
I can't remember. What's the word?
Memory. I forgot.
All right, tonight on NBC Nightly News, Nepal is in greater need of after another deadly quake strikes.
That's right.
That's next with Lester Holt.
A reminder to tune in tomorrow morning for news updates during the Today Show.
All right, from all of us here at the News Center, we hope you have a great night.
Good night.